After witnessing a brilliant game between Frank Marshall and and Emmanuel Lasker in 1907, we move on to a next game between Alexander Harprin, a pretty young prodigy at that time, versus Harry Nelson Pillsbury, a pretty infamous player at that time. This game was played in 1900, so with this game was a game full of brilliant moves by Hal- Alexander Halprin. So, without any further delay, let's get into the video. So, in this game, Alexander Halprin took the white pieces and Pillsbury took the black one. So, before starting this video, I reviewed this game and I found out this. As you can see, the game review list is given here by chess.com. So, in this game, the white side you can see Halprin's accuracy, and on the black side you can see Pillsbury's accuracy. So, as per the odds, you would know that Pillsbury is more accurate than Halprin. But this game ended in a draw. So, in this game, Halprin played three brilliant moves, whereas Pillsbury played just one. Um, Halprin played four great moves, whereas Pillsbury played two. The most best moves were played by Pillsbury. Then there were no excellent moves in this game. Good Two good moves were played by Pillsbury, but one by Halprin. Seven book moves, seven by Halprin and six by Pillsbury book moves were played. These book moves tell about the starting of the game, like the opening phase. Two inaccuracies were made by Halprin, but none by Pillsbury. One mistake was made by Pillsbury, but none by Halprin. One blunder was made by Halprin and none by Pillsbury, and nobody missed a win. So, after seeing this, we know that the odds for Pillsbury are high in this game. So, now let's analyze this game. This game was played uh, in Munich in 1900. So, let's start the game. This game starts with a very decent Rui Lopez, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. My game review is still on, so you can see. Bishop b5, knight f6, the very infamous Berlin. Castles, knight captures e4, which is a pretty standard move at that time. d4, knight d6, and d takes e5. Here, bishop captures c6 was better. So here, bishop captures c6 was better as you get a free knight. D captures c6, D captures e5, and knight f5. The classic Berlin, though poor at this time, but Kramnik showed it to be excellent. At that time, Kramnik was gaining much popularity. So in this position, you can see that the queens can be easily traded off. And instead of after d takes e5, knight takes b5, giving away a bishop, turning into an Ilhamit variation, a4, d6, which is best at this time because if you take over here, I take this pawn, opening the queen up, and you can take up with the knight also. Thereby, Pillsbury would be up two pawns. But here, knight b d4 was clearly equalizing. After that, knight takes b4, knight takes b4, queen takes d4, d5, e takes d6, and then passant, queen takes d6. Queen e4 check, queen e6, queen d4, queen d6. This is the famous drawing line used by Nakamura, so and others. E6, it's good, but here bishop g5 was best, as you can see. E6 a very dangerous attacking line. F takes e6, which is very popular, which is a brilliant move considered here because you have some good ideas. Now here bishop captures e6 would be relevant since Pillsbury found out this move. A takes b5, knight e5, knight d4, bishop e7 f4, knight c4. The knight is clearly out in the center. This may objectively unclear, but it practically holds it much better for white. A takes b5, knight e7. Then here knight b4 was also is the best move considered, but it's very inhuman to drop the knight on such a lost square, because you just freely by after this would be a main idea. Then the knight comes here, play here, then here, and then you trap the knight in some ideas like this 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 and then this. You get a knight trapped, but you still have a better position. So here knight c3 was played by white. Knight g6, knight g5. This is considered an inaccuracy. Queen d4, but here queen d4 was best. An improvement missed by all, but the game continuation is more fun if objectively stronger. Then e5, the queen moves away. Here bishop e7, a, a great move was played to shoo away this knight. Queen b5, this is the best move, because if takes, I take with this, and the queen is forced to come out, and you have the square control, the d8 square control. Queen d7, b6, it's another inaccuracy. Oh, Alexander Hallprint must be thinking that Pillsbury would take with this so that I can take that, but that would be a pretty bad blunder. See, queen f6 would be like infinitely equalizing. You are forced to play this, and your knight is coming out, and then this check, but that would be a blunder over here. You should never try to play this move. Instead, retreat your queen and then move your queen away here and trap it. Then this would be there, and like what would you play else? This you can't take over here, so you play this. You take pawn up. So a knight takes f6. That's a bad move. Knight c3, knight g6, knight g5. So now we're getting back to the game b6. The key idea in the previous game Marcosi had seen. Rook a3, Wolf Marcosi versus Pillsbury in the previous round was played. Knight d5 and castles, which was also like quite equal. C takes b6, the best move. Knight d5, which is a blunder, you give away this, and then you have some check theories open. So rook a3 next was played. Knight d5, kind of inaccuracy, because after this you could just allow this diagonal. If you play this, then white supposedly plays this, then this, a check here, then there. Get a rook out here so that you can go for this, but that is a blunder like here. And then you take this check over here and get back to square one. So now d takes e5, rook f3 check. It's a great move over here, pushing the king away and creating some mating patterns. King g8, bishop h6, magical. It's a brilliant move. Without the bishop sacrifice on an empty square, white would have done nothing, because after takes you open up your squares, play this, check, king out, king's out, and then you play a theoretical this move like this. The king moves away, and you have kind of practical checks here, here, then these are some kind of checks. It is a this. I'm continuously uh, keeping my game review on, and I'm finding such brilliant, great moves like here. Bishop takes g7. The bishop must be taken now because if you the bishop must be taken now, either like this or like this, because it may prove a threat. Like check, yeah, check. The king moves away, and then you play this as a theoretical line. Then here, and that would be a huge blunder, but that would not be played. Play here, offering a trade away, but you do not accept it. Like here, and the game is still in black's favor, but you can just get out of this position. So rook g3 bishop is taken. The bishop must be taken. Now king takes g7. Rook g3 check, king f8, and rook f3 check again. King g7, rook g3, king f8, and that's a threefold repetition draw for you. You can see how Alexander Halprin just played three brilliant moves and saved this whole losing game and converted it into a draw. So I hope you would have enjoyed this video. Please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Athar Mishra signing off. Goodbye.